Hey, what's up, fam? It's April 9th, 2025, 1:45 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and the world's two biggest economies are slugging it out in a tariff war that's got markets crashing, tempers flaring, and everyone wondering who's going to blink first. The Dow's down 1,000 points today, after shedding 1,700 yesterday. Trillions are evaporating, and it's all because President Donald Trump and China are trading blows like heavyweight champs. Trump just cranked U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods to 125% this morning, effective immediately. And China? They fired back with 84% tariffs on every U.S. import, starting tomorrow, April 10th. This isn't just a trade spat, it's economic Armageddon unfolding live. So how did we get here? Who started it? And what's at stake? Let's unpack this beast. Stick with me, because it's a doozy. It all kicked off on April 2nd, 2025, Trump's so-called Liberation Day. He steps up, MAGA, hat on lock, and slaps a 10% tariff on imports from 185 countries, but China gets the VIP treatment, 54% right out the gate. Why? Trump's obsessed with the $300 billion trade deficit. America buys $450 billion in Chinese goods yearly, and China grabs $145 billion back. He says it's a ripoff, claims Beijing's been plundering us for decades, and he's here to bring factories home, boost jobs, and make America a cash volcano. 6 to 7 trillion. He's crowing on Truth Social. Who threw the first punch? Trump, no question. He's the spark, reigniting a feud that's been simmering since his first term. Let's rewind for context. This isn't their first rodeo. Back in 2018, Trump hit China with 25% tariffs on $50 billion in tech goods, raging about stolen IP and forced tech transfers. China clapped back, 25% on U.S. soybeans and cars, setting off round one. Things cooled under Biden, sorta, but the average U.S. tariff on China still hovered at 20.8%. Then Trump wins in November 2024, and China's like, uh-oh. By December, they ban rare earth exports, think gallium, stuff for chips and missiles, prepping for war. April 2nd hits, and Trump's universal tariff salvo lights the fuse again. Why now? He's riding election hype, America First vibes, and a grudge against China's rise. BRICS at 35% of global GDP, G7 at 28%. It's personal and it's geopolitical. What's Trump chasing? Jobs for one, GM's hiring temps in Michigan, steel workers are hyped. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says $6 trillion is incoming if nations cave. But the flip side's nasty. JP Morgan's got recession odds at 60%. Tariffs jack up prices, iPhones could double, and households might cough up $2,000 to $3,000 extra a year. China's 84% tariffs today crush U.S. farmers. Soybeans for their 450 million pigs? Done. The WTO says trade between these two could tank 80%. That's $466 billion gone. Benefits might be jobs, maybe pride. Drawbacks are inflation, lost exports, and a global slowdown that'll hit us all. China's not sitting pretty. They're swinging. Today's 84% tariffs on $145 billion in U.S. goods, up from 34% last week, answer Trump's 104% midnight hike, which he bumped to 125% hours ago. But it's bigger than that. Since December 2024, they've cut off rare earths, 90% of the world's supply, strangling U.S. tech and defense. They've blacklisted 18 U.S. firms, filed WTO complaints, and issued a U.S. travel advisory, citing deterioration in ties. They're cozying up to India, dragon elephant tango, Xi calls it, Japan and the EU, building a counterblock. China's Ministry of Commerce says they've got abundant means, stimulus, new trade routes, maybe a weaker yuan to keep exports humming. This is a calculated war plan, not a panic move. Can Trump win this? He's got a shot. He's at 125% now, claiming China's panicking. A 90-day pause on non-China tariffs today, down to 10%, sent the S&P 500 soaring 8% and the Dow up 2,400 at one point. If he forces deals and shrinks that deficit, he might claim victory. But China's no pushover. $3 trillion in reserves, a domestic economy they've been bulking up since 2018. U.S. industry is a shell. Factories don't pop up overnight. Exports are tanking soybeans, oil, gas, and allies like the EU are prepping their own tariffs on U.S. goods, like $22 billion in soybeans and bikes. Trump's got muscle, but China's got endurance. It's a coin toss. China's screaming they're ready. We'll fight to the end, their Commerce Ministry vowed today, echoing a white paper calling this their firm will with abundant tools. Since Trump's win, they've been prepping rare earth bans, diplomatic wins, and a domestic push to weather the storm. They've learned from 2018's tariff hit, and Xi's team says they're better prepared this time. Think long game vibes while Trump's playing short-term chaos. Economist Richard Wolff's got a dark take. On Democracy Now!, he calls this the American empire's decline, a desperate flail as BRICS overtakes G7. This isn't winning, it's losing slower, he says, predicting U.S. isolation as China leads a new order. Singapore's PM ups the stakes. April 8th, he warns, this is 1930s redux. Trade wars turned to armed conflicts back then. Don't bet on peaceholding. He's got his trade-dependent island on high alert, saying the global system's toast. Markets? A roller coaster. China's 84% tariffs today erased that 8% S&P 500 spike. Dow's back down 1,000, Nasdaq's off 2%, Europe's DAX and FTSE shedding 5%. Tesla and Apple, China-reliant, are down 5 to 9% this week. Oil's at $55 yelling recession. Trump's pause gave a breather, but China's retaliation killed it. Investors are spooked, and we're not at the bottom yet. Here's the raw deal. Trump kicked this off April 2nd, fueled by trade beef and power plays, building on 2018's clash. China's fighting with tariffs, bans, and alliances. Trump's banking on pressure, but victory's shaky. Wolff sees a fading empire. Singapore's PM fears war, and markets are begging for mercy. China says they're in it to win it. 84% today, more tomorrow. Trump's at 125%, threatening higher. This is economic warfare, folks. Who's got your bet? Drop it below, smash that like button, and subscribe, because this isn't ending soon.